Las Vegas, Nevada. March 1996. MGM Grand Casino. Saturday night, 11:47 p.m. The high roller section is alive with the electric energy that only Vegas can generate. Poker tables surrounded by millionaires. Roulette wheels spinning fortunes into existence and oblivion. The controlled chaos of America's gambling capital at its peak. In the corner booth of the VIP lounge, Mike Tyson holds court. Fresh off his victory over Frank Bruno. Iron Mike is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world again. The baddest man on the planet. Surrounded by his entourage, counting stacks of cash from a private poker game that's been running for 6 hours straight. The atmosphere around Tyson's table is electric but dangerous. Everyone knows his reputation, his explosive temper, his ability to end conversations with violence that happens faster than most people can process. When Mike Tyson speaks, smart people listen. When he's silent, smart people stay silent. But tonight, an unexpected figure approaches the VIP section. Jean-Claude Van Damme walks through the casino floor, nodding to dealers who recognize him from his films. He's 35 years old, at the absolute peak of his Hollywood fame. Time Cop made him a household name worldwide. Street Fighter, despite mixed reviews, proved he could open a major studio film. He's the king of martial arts cinema, the muscles from Brussels who conquered American action movies. Van Damme isn't here to gamble. He's here because Tyson invited him. They met 2 months ago at a charity event in New York. Mutual respect between two men who understand what it means to be physically elite in their respective fields. Mike, Van Damme approaches the table, his Belgian accent carrying genuine warmth. "How's the game treating you?" Tyson looks up, his face breaking into a rare, genuine smile. "Jean-Claude, sit down, man, we're killing these guys. Made 40 grand already tonight." Van Damme slides into the booth. The other players nod respectfully. In this world of heavyweight champions and movie stars, respect is earned through dominance in your field. But standing behind Tyson, watching this interaction with growing skepticism, is Tommy "The Wall" Morrison, not the boxer, a different Morrison entirely. Tyson's head of security for the past 3 years, 6'5", 280 pounds of former street fighter turned professional protector. Tommy earned his nickname the hard way. Growing up in Detroit's roughest neighborhoods, he fought his way out of poverty with his fists. No formal training, no technical instruction, just raw power, and the kind of street wisdom that keeps you alive when everyone wants to hurt you. Tommy is old school. He believes strength beats speed, size beats skill, and real fighting beats everything else. He's protected Tyson through riots, attempted robberies, and genuine assassination attempts. He's seen real violence, dealt real violence, and survived situations that would break most men. Tommy interjects, his voice carrying Detroit street authority. "Maybe we should keep the conversation to business, less distractions." But Van Damme doesn't take offense. He understands security protocols, recognizes Tommy's protective instincts. "No problem," Van Damme says diplomatically. "I just wanted to say hello. Congratulations on the Bruno fight." Tommy studies Van Damme carefully. Evaluates him the way he evaluates every potential threat to Tyson. What he sees doesn't impress him. A movie actor, probably 170 pounds soaking wet. Soft Hollywood hands that have never thrown a punch that wasn't choreographed. "You know," Tommy says, his tone becoming more challenging, "Mike here is a real fighter. Not like these Hollywood guys who learn a few moves for cameras." The poker table goes quiet. Other players sense the shift in atmosphere. This isn't friendly conversation anymore. Van Damme's expression doesn't change, but his posture shifts slightly. "I understand the difference between sport and cinema, Tommy. I respect what Mike does." Tommy doesn't back down. 3 years of protecting the world's most dangerous man has given him confidence in his ability to read people and handle situations. "See, that's where I think you're wrong," Tommy continues, his voice getting harder. "There's sport, there's cinema, and then there's real fighting, real violence. And all that karate stuff you do, that's fake. Movie magic. Doesn't work when somebody's actually trying to hurt you." The words hang in the air like a challenge. Karate is fake. The dismissal that cuts to the core of everything Van Damme has built his identity around. Tyson looks between the two men, immediately sensing danger. He knows Tommy's temper, knows Van Damme's pride. This is escalating beyond friendly conversation. "Tommy, easy." Tyson starts. But Van Damme raises his hand gently, stopping Mike. His demeanor has changed completely. The diplomatic Hollywood actor is gone, replaced by something colder and more focused. Karate is fake. Van Damme repeats quietly. Tommy meets his eyes directly. No backing down. Movie karate is fake. Real fighting happens in alleys and boxing rings. Your spinning kicks and fancy moves work fine when everyone knows what's coming, but against real violence, against someone who actually wants to hurt you, they're useless. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Like the video and comment. More true Van Damme stories are coming. The VIP lounge has gone completely silent. 12 people around the poker table plus casino security watching from a distance, all sensing that something significant is about to happen. Van Damme stands slowly, his movements fluid and controlled. Tommy, would you like to test your theory? Tommy doesn't hesitate. Right here. In front of Mike, in front of everyone. Right here. Right now. Tyson immediately stands up, recognizing the danger. Guys, maybe we should... No, Van Damme interrupts, his voice carrying absolute certainty. Tommy has made his position clear. Karate is fake. Movie magic that doesn't work against real violence. I think he should have the opportunity to prove his point. Tommy removes his suit jacket, hands it to another security team member. Underneath he's wearing a sleeveless shirt that shows his massive arms and the scars from street fights that nearly killed him. His hands are enormous, scarred knuckles from years of hitting faces and breaking bones. Jean-Claude, Tommy says, cracking his knuckles. I don't want to embarrass you in front of Mike, but if you insist on this demonstration, I'll show you what real violence looks like. Van Damme removes his designer jacket. Expensive Italian cut worth more than most people make in a month. Sets it carefully on the poker table, next to stacks of cash and poker chips. 4 minutes, Van Damme says. That's how long you spent explaining why karate doesn't work against real violence. Let's see if your theory holds up for the same amount of time. Tommy grins, showing gold teeth from his street fighting days. 4 minutes is way more than I need. The VIP lounge transforms. Poker players push back from the table, creating space. Casino security moves closer but doesn't interfere. This is Mike Tyson's table, and what happens here stays here. Tyson checks his diamond-encrusted Rolex, his face grim with anticipation. 4 minutes. Starting now. Tommy comes forward immediately. No technique, no strategy. Pure Detroit street fighting. Get close, use size and power, hurt the opponent before they can react. He swings a massive right hand at Van Damme's head, a punch that has ended dozens of street fights, put men in hospitals, settled arguments permanently. Van Damme's head moves 6 inches. The punch passes through empty air where his face was a millisecond before. Tommy's momentum carries him forward, slightly off balance. Van Damme's left hand touches Tommy's shoulder. Gentle contact. Just enough to redirect the bigger man's energy. Tommy stumbles past him, catches himself, spins around. First lesson, Van Damme says calmly. Real violence requires hitting real targets. Tommy resets. More cautious now but still confident. He's fought smaller, faster opponents before. The key is cutting off their movement, trapping them, using the size advantage. He throws a combination, left hook, right cross, left uppercut, street boxing learned in Detroit alleys where losing meant dying. Fast, powerful, committed. Van Damme moves through the attacks like smoke through a screen door, slipping, ducking, making Tommy's power work against itself. Each punch misses by inches. Second lesson. Van Damme says, still calm. Real violence requires timing, not just power. Tommy is breathing harder now, partly from exertion but mostly from frustration. This Hollywood actor is making him look foolish in front of the heavyweight champion of the world. Tommy changes tactics, charges forward like a linebacker, arms wide, trying to tackle Van Damme to the ground. If he can get his hands on him, if he can use his 110-pound weight advantage, this will be over. Van Damme doesn't try to avoid the charge. Instead, he steps into it, meeting Tommy's momentum at an angle. His shoulder connects with Tommy's chest, but not to stop him, to redirect him. Tommy's charge becomes a controlled fall. He hits the VIP lounge carpet hard, rolling to absorb impact. Van Damme stands above him, untouched, breathing normally. Third lesson, Van Damme says, extending his hand to help Tommy up. Real violence requires understanding physics, not just applying force. Tommy takes the hand, gets to his feet, his face showing a mixture of embarrassment and growing anger. He's being systematically dismantled by someone half his size in front of people whose respect he depends on. Tyson checks his watch. 2 minutes 30 seconds remaining. But Tommy isn't finished. He has one more approach. The approach that kept him alive on Detroit streets where guns and knives were common but fists were faster. Okay, Tommy says, breathing hard, you're quick. You're slippery. But can you handle real street violence? Real killing intent? Tommy's entire demeanor shifts. His posture drops into a crouch. His eyes go flat and dead. This is how Tommy Morrison fought when crack dealers were trying to kill him for Tyson's jewelry. No rules, no mercy, no tomorrow if you lose. He comes forward one more time, but this time it's different. This isn't boxing or street fighting. This is survival violence. Elbows, knees, attempts to grab and gouge, the kind of fighting that happens when civilization breaks down and only the strongest survive. Van Damme reads the escalation immediately. His stance shifts subtly, weight more centered, hands positioned differently. He's recognizing the change in intent and preparing to match it appropriately. Tommy throws everything he has. A barrage of violence that has overwhelmed bigger, stronger men in environments where losing meant death, raw, brutal, effective street combat. But Van Damme isn't overwhelmed. He's a martial artist who understands violence at a level Tommy has never encountered. Van Damme's response is surgical and immediate. His left hand controls Tommy's attacking arm, stopping a potentially devastating elbow strike. His right hand strikes Tommy's solar plexus with perfect precision. Not movie choreography. Not demonstration technique, real martial arts applied with real intention against real aggression. Tommy's breath exits his body completely. His diaphragm spasms violently. His legs give out. 280 pounds of Detroit street fighter drops to both knees, gasping for air like a drowning man. Van Damme steps forward, places his right hand lightly on Tommy's throat, not applying pressure, just proving position. In a real fight, that touch could have been devastating. Final lesson, Van Damme says quietly. Real violence ends when one person can't continue. Tyson checks his watch, his expression showing awe and respect. 3 minutes 58 seconds. 2 seconds to spare. The VIP lounge is dead silent except for Tommy's labored breathing. 12 witnesses to something none of them will ever forget. Jean-Claude Van Damme, the movie star they thought was all Hollywood flash, just systematically destroyed a street fighter's attack using pure martial arts mastery. Tommy remains on his knees, still catching his breath, looking up at Van Damme with new understanding and grudging respect. This wasn't movie fighting, this wasn't choreographed demonstration. This was authentic martial arts skill applied against authentic street violence. Van Damme removes his hand from Tommy's throat, steps back, offers to help him stand. Tommy takes the offered hand, gets slowly to his feet, his face showing respect instead of skepticism. I was wrong, Tommy says simply, his Detroit directness cutting through any potential embarrassment. Your karate is real. Very real. Van Damme nods respectfully. Thank you for testing it honestly. That took courage. Tyson walks over to both men, his expression showing admiration for both. Tommy, you good? Tommy straightens his shirt, gets his breathing fully under control. I'm good, Mike, and I'm educated. Jean-Claude just taught me the difference between knowing about fighting and understanding martial arts. Van Damme retrieves his jacket, puts it back on, adjusts his appearance. The transformation is instant. Back to Hollywood mode like nothing extraordinary happened. Mike, Van Damme says, thank you for allowing this to happen. Sometimes a man needs to prove his authenticity, not for others, but for himself. Tyson claps him on the shoulder with genuine respect. You proved it, Jean-Claude, to all of us. As the evening winds down, Tommy approaches Van Damme one final time. Jean-Claude, Tommy says, I got a question. During that whole thing you could have hurt me serious, real serious. But you held back. Why? Van Damme considers the question carefully. Because proving skill and proving dominance are different things. I needed to show you that karate works against real violence. I didn't need to show you that I could damage you. Tommy nods slowly, understanding. That's the difference between a fighter and a warrior. A warrior knows when the fight is over. Van Damme smiles slightly. Now you understand. Karate isn't fake when practiced by people who understand what it really is. The poker game resumes. Money changes hands. The normal rhythm of Vegas returns, but 12 people will carry this story forever, bound by the unwritten code of what happens in Vegas. Tyson never spoke publicly about what happened in the VIP lounge that night. Professional discretion. Personal loyalty. When asked about martial arts authenticity in later interviews, he would simply say, "Some movie stars are the real deal. Jean-Claude is one of them." Tommy Morrison continued as Tyson's head of security through the champion's most turbulent years. When asked about street fighting versus martial arts, his response became consistent. "Don't judge someone's fighting ability based on where they learned it. Real skill is real skill no matter what you call it." The 12 witnesses maintained silence for years, not from legal agreements but from respect and the Vegas Code. What happens in high roller VIP lounges stays in high roller VIP lounges, especially when it involves proving something important. But whispers spread through Las Vegas security circles. Stories about the night Van Damme schooled a street fighter in 4 minutes, about the difference between movie martial arts and real martial arts when practiced by someone who never forgot the real part. Van Damme's career continued to flourish, but something fundamental had changed. The quiet confidence that comes from being tested by genuine doubt and proving yourself definitively. Not in a tournament, not in a choreographed sequence, but in a real situation against a real opponent who genuinely believed you were fake. Tommy Morrison learned something equally important that night, that assumptions about people based on their profession can be dangerous mistakes. That martial arts authenticity isn't determined by where you learned it or how you use it professionally, but by your depth of understanding and ability to apply principles under genuine pressure from genuine threats. 4 minutes. That's all it took to settle a question that had been whispered in Vegas and Hollywood for years. Are martial arts movie stars real fighters or just actors who learned choreography for cameras? Jean-Claude Van Damme answered that question definitively in the MGM Grand VIP Lounge. Not with words or credentials but with demonstration. Against street violence. Against skepticism. Against a Detroit street fighter who thought karate is fake was an accurate assessment. The answer echoed through the casino that night. There's no such thing as fake karate when practiced by real martial artists. There are only martial arts applied by people who understand them deeply enough to make them work under any circumstances, against any opponent, in any environment. Tyson's bodyguard said, "Van Damme's karate is fake." 4 minutes later he understood the difference between assumption and reality. Between what he thought he knew about movie martial arts and what movie martial arts actually are when practiced by someone who never forgot they were martial arts first, movies second. Subscribe, turn on notifications, like the video, and comment below which Van Damme moment surprised you most.